Hi again. Here I go again. I'm probably going to release this before I actually release what I would kind of call my pilot episode of launching what new business venture I have created. Now I did an episode, actually two, before doing this, starting my better health journey, as I like to call it, of walking every day. I used to do that. Not this previous summer going into winter, but the one before it. And I got into it up until about, the middle of winter again, this past winter, where I'd walk every day, at least 1.5 miles. I walked my youngest son to school, but I felt like it wasn't doing enough for me, so I kind of fell off of it like we always do. So anyway, I talk about it in my launching episode, I guess you would call it, how I'm getting back to that, and I wanted everyone to take that journey with me, because when I stopped walking, I noticed it had been doing a lot for me. So anyway, I've been struggling with whether or not to post that one, because in that original episode I kind of got emotional. A lot of this has to do with making sure I don't get to a point where my mother is at. And I'm lucky to have my parents still here to this day. Same mother and father, married for over 50 years, still together to this day, and in their mid to late 70s. Look great. So that is kind of what started this off for me. And I want to make sure that I get in better shape and I stay healthy. Like I said, that because I have 8 children that I put in this world that I need to be better for. So anywho, that being said, I originally started it as my better health journey, which of course it is. And I know when I started walking the previous year, I also started eating better, and watching what I eat and how much I eat. Now that has stayed with me, and because I had become like pre-diabetic, I stopped drinking any kind of regular soda, went to diet or sugar-free. Didn't think I'd ever like it. I love it now. Diet Coke is number 1. I eat healthier bread when I do eat it. I don't eat any ground beef except for the occasional burger. I'm not gonna lie about that. All we have is ground turkey, and I eat chicken. I kind of want to steer away from any of the birds, so I think I might end up doing that. And besides that, like I said, the number one thing, and I'm going kind of slow here, I need to pick up the pace, is walking. Eating and drinking better. Walking. You'd be amazed what it could do for you. So anyway, like I said, I originally started this to be a better health journey. And along with, I guess you'd say, my love for humanity, for people. Now I'm one of those people who on most days I don't really like dealing with people, but I also love people. I'm a more positive person. I won't call it the end till the very last second. I see things in a more positive light, and even though I have my own personal opinion on different things, I welcome any different point of view and opinion. Any kind of criticism that is helpful, or even if someone just doesn't agree with me. So, all that being said, I've decided to turn this into what I am calling my WalkCast. Now, I know there's a million podcasts out there. A lot of them I didn't think I'd watch, and when you start watching, you get hooked. Especially if it's about real life stuff in this day and age that we hear, deal with, anything like that. And because I'm looking to better myself, but at the same time, I don't mind talking about different things going on in the world. You know, whether it's my concerns, my fears, my pride. And I thought, hey, let me do a WalkCast. It's my walking podcast. So, here we are with my first episode. Now, I probably will release the 2 prior episodes that I had done. It mostly talks a lot about me, family, why I'm doing this in more depth than what I'm saying here. And like I said, I got emotional. But that's the real me, much like this walking is. Now, on my WalkCast, I just merely walk around my neighborhood. I might expand it at some point, a little farther. It's whatever. It depends how I feel and what I'm talking about. One main thing that I wanted to kind of get into. Oh, and I will probably do it. I will check in every day and do a check-in video. But I'll probably do the whole WalkCast maybe once a week, because I don't want to run out of too much content to cover. Don't want to run out of ideas. Of course, there probably will never be a shortage of ideas with the way this world is. And if I'm lucky, maybe more and more people will see and just join in the conversation. Leave your comments. Tell me how you feel about it. You know, what you think, what you know, what you hope for. I'm going to probably cover anything from social, economic, political things happening locally, things that are U.S. involved, and worldwide. I'm going to cover any and everything. I'm going to try and think of something that's one of the more relevant things at this time. And then maybe there will be times where I'll bring up something from the past. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. And I will try to put it on multiple different apps. So for those of you that see me on YouTube, my YouTube channel, I do reviews on there of anything, clothes, bags, jewelry, and helpful tips on things you could do around the house. I'm pretty multifaceted. And I might even bring people along with me. It might be a friend, a family member, maybe even a neighbor walking by. I'll stop and ask them their point of view. I think it's going to be interesting. It's going to be fun. And something to grow from. and get healthier at the same time. Again, I will check in every day, but I will probably do one full WalkCast per week. And like I said, I will try to put it on multiple apps. Now my YouTube channel, I do all the reviews and all that on. I will put it on there. I will put it on my TikTok. I will put it on Flip. Some of those worldwide ones I know people can see. And like I said, feel free to give your opinion, your insight, what you think, what you know, because that's pretty much all I'm doing. And I guess the first thing I'd like to start off with is all these wars going on. Now, I'm not one that's big on political talk, and I'm not a real big Trump fan, but I believe everybody has a right and they have a reason for what they believe in, their opinion. Now, a lot of the stuff Trump does I don't like, but there's some points I do like, which doesn't mean I agree with him. And one other thing, a disclaimer: any of my thoughts, opinions, views, what I know, what I think, is all strictly only mine. Has nothing to do with or any affiliation with any of the sites I put it on, like YouTube, Flip, TikTok. Clearly my own, coming from only me. And though I don't look like it, I am 52. I have 8 children. I have lived different ways in my life. I know a little bit about quite a lot of stuff. I don't know everything about everything. I don't know something about everything. Just a little about some things. Some more than others. So getting back to it. These wars, our involvement. I grew up where my parents, my dad was in the military, my grandfathers were in the military. We loved the USA. My eldest son was born on the 4th of July. But I did grow up in a home where my mother would say, here we go. Us, being the US, is putting its nose into other countries' business where it doesn't belong. Getting involved in their fights, struggles. She called it their business. And I'm not sure to what extent she felt like that, as far as, okay, well, if they're the underdog and they need help and they're being pulverized, such as some people believe about Ukraine, I'm not sure if she felt we should step in. I know I do. And again, these are my own personal opinions, feelings. I know she said that all the time. I feel like that a little bit, and I feel like the other way a little bit too. Whereas I know we need to let other countries handle their own businesses, but sometimes it can get so bad that I feel like, and I know it's not the same thing if you see a small kid getting pretty much beat down by a much bigger kid at school or by multiple kids and you feel the need to jump in and help. I know it's not the same thing. There's so much more involved. And I know a lot of people think, oh, we jump in because we're in it for some kind of economic or political gain, and I don't know. Sometimes I think that. I hope that's not what it's all about. But you hear a lot about countries not caring about its people. Ours as well. We really don't matter. We're collateral damage, all that. I was sheltered from all that growing up. Did not know that. saw a whole lot just in the last 20 years that made me actually start thinking that. I still believe in the US of A. And I usually do believe in our presidents, depending upon them. And of course, we don't really know them like we think we do. We don't see the real. So that's why it's kind of hard for me to go, okay, I really don't like Trump or what he stands for, the things that he does. But for all we know, this is not all really him. Or it's not what he truly believes. Or, some people believe the president is just a puppet. And that the government uses the puppet as like their representative. And no matter how smart or business savvy they may be, for all we know, they're being controlled. To say they think these things or to say they're going to do these things. And even if it's just them and they're not being controlled, I believe there's some good and bad to everybody. And I know politics can be a horrible thing. And politicians can be horrible. But I'm sure, like with anything, they're not all bad. And they're, as harsh as it seems, there are usually good reasons for why some people like to make some rules and laws, even if we don't see it right off the bat. I'm more of a love and concern for the people kind of person. I worry about the people of Ukraine, but I also worry about the innocent people of Russia. I'm so worried about all these other people in the world today, Israel, Gaza, all these places that are going through these wars. And I know that there is economic and political gain. I know there is. And I know, unfortunately, that's what makes the world go round. But, Lord, can we all get down to remembering we are all human beings? Can we let that take some kind of a place in our decisions? Thinking about our families, our children, how we grew up, how we live, what we want for them, what we want for the world in general. And I'm not going to bring religion into any of my stuff, only because, and now I was born and raised Catholic, baptized, did my sacraments in the Catholic Church, but I don't force it upon anyone, and I wasn't forced into it. Sure, my family were born into it, raised in it. I was too. And I don't know much about any other religion, just my own. And I tell you what, there was never anything funny going on in my church with our pastors, our priests, any clergyman, any of the children. It was a safe space, and you could trust them. Now, I love the church. I have to say, any time in my life when I went down a wrong path, made bad decisions, and also when I lost my second child, I tell you now, everyone grieves and everyone goes on in their own way. But I tell people to this day, if it weren't for them, the church family I had, the people my mother knew that we grew up with in the church, the priest, all of them, I don't know how I would have survived, along with my family, my older daughter at the time. And the fact that I was pregnant with my son, my third child at the time. My faith, that church, all its people, they helped me survive. My belief that there's a better place and a better person, it has helped me survive all these years. And it has been about 31 years since then. I went on to have 7 more children after her. So I'm the mother of 9 with 8 here. And so I love my religion, and I understand everyone else's freedom to their own religion and what it means to them. It's a very personal journey, a personal, private meaning. We cannot hold that against people or fault them for it. But I will not bring any religion into any of this, because I know that some people don't believe in a religion and it causes problems. And much like how we have the right to believe in and hold dear any of these religions, other people who don't believe or want to have one, they have that right as well. And I choose to see it from either side. It's the best way you can do it. So anywho, getting back to this, these wars, it has got to be the number one it has got to be the number one thing that's got to be at the top of everybody's list of concerns right now. Because even if you don't live in one of those places, and I pray for all of them, especially the innocent children. My heart breaks for any innocent people. I even pray for the bad ones doing it all, because I feel like they just don't get it. They don't know any better. But this has got to be the number one, because, like I said, even if you don't live there, you have got to be concerned that our involvement or our getting involved could spill over into being a threat to any of us. That's about when I start to be concerned with us getting involved. I couldn't even imagine a threat to American soil. I couldn't imagine the U.S. anywhere having the type of life that Ukraine or any of these other countries are having, the way they have to live. It's just unbearable. And I pray God that, or any other way, that it never comes to that. I know I saw there was a threat by one of those leaders saying that if we were to get involved, it would be a very, very bad and horrible outcome for us, because then we could possibly start getting attacks on American soil. So that concerns me. I don't know how any of you guys feel, whether you're a strong believer in getting out there and helping, or, you know, just helping from a distance, or, you know, kind of watching and trying to let them sort it out themselves, which is hard. Like I said, especially when you see one that is more the bully, really giving it to the other side, and they really need help. As human beings, just like if it were a person on the street, we can't help but to feel, oh my God, I gotta help. We can, so we should, to a point. We can be strong as hell, but we also have heart. I believe in that. I believe in American people. I believe in people, period. I believe in humanity. And I hope y'all do too. So that's pretty much my view for this one. Kind of started off kind of strong, but this is what I'm most concerned about worldwide today. And it is Friday. Nice day. It's going to be a little bit cooler out here in California. Around 81 degrees today. Trying to enjoy it. And kind of keep an eye on and off with these current events and hope for the best. And I welcome your comments, your views. And I thank you for joining me. And don't worry, still doing my reviews. I will be doing one later today. Today's Friday, June 20th, 2025. Thank you again, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video.